Parable on the True Nature of Human Existence. One day, the king of Kosala, King Prasenajit, went to listen to Sakyamuni Buddha's sermon. This is what human beings are like. Sakyamuni Buddha taught King Prasenajit, who was listening to Buddhism for the first time, about this through a parable. Millions of years ago, a traveller plodded alone across a vast, grassy plain. It was a dreary autumn evening, and a chill wind blew. As he hurried along the path, all at once he noticed white objects scattered around and came to a stop, wondering what they could be. He picked one up and was startled to discover that it was a human bone. What were so many bones doing in such a place? Lost in thought over this, he moved not a step further. Soon from the darkness ahead, he heard something moving and a strange growling sound. He peered into the gloom and made out the distant figure of a fierce tiger, maddened by starvation, racing straight at him. Instantly the meaning of the bones became clear. Other travellers, passing this way like him, must have been eaten by the tiger. Instinctively he sensed that he was in the same situation. Terrified, he ran back the way he had come, desperate to escape the tiger's jaws. But no human can outrun a tiger. Before long he felt the tiger's terrible hot breath at his back. It seemed that he had taken a wrong turn, for the path ended suddenly in a sharp cliff. He was trapped. A single pine tree stood on the cliff. The traveller thought that even if he climbed the tree, he wouldn't be able to escape from the tiger. All he could do was despair. Fortunately, right after that he spotted a vine hanging from the bottom of the tree at the edge of the cliff. Needless to say, he grabbed hold of the vine and lowered himself as far as he could. The traveller had narrowly escaped with his life, as when he looked up, he saw the tiger on the cliff. Frustrated at seeing its prey get away, the tiger began to groan in disappointment. "Good grief," he murmured. "It's a lucky thing this vine was here, or that would have been the end of me. Now I can breathe easy." Then he glanced down, and he couldn't keep from gasping in shock. Lapping the base of the cliff were the angry billows of a bottomless sea. Nor was that all. In the waves were 3 dragons, one blue, one red, and one black, waiting with their bright red mouths wide open for him to fall. In horror, he clung tighter to the vine and shuddered. However, human emotions are fleeting. After a while, the traveller began to feel hungry and looked around for something to eat. That's when he made his most horrifying discovery of all. Two mice, one white and one black, were circling the root of the vine, gnawing at it in turns. The traveller's face turned pale, his teeth chattered, and he shook uncontrollably. He shook the vine vigorously to scare the mice away, but to no avail. They just kept on chewing at the same pace. Soon, the traveller noticed something dripping down from above. honeybees had made a hive at the base of the vine, and now 5 drops of sweet honey fell into his mouth. The traveller's heart was captivated by the luscious honey the moment it graced his tongue, and he forgot the terror of his plight. When Sakyamuni Buddha's sermon reached this point, King Prasenajit stood up and shouted, "World-honored one, please stop! Don't continue that story anymore, please!" How could this traveller be so foolish? How could he ever forget how terrible it is for him to be in such danger with only the distraction of 5 honey drops? When I think about what will happen to him from now, I am too frightened to hear any more of this story. Great King, Sakyamuni Buddha replied, do you think this traveller a fool? This traveller, in fact, refers to you. What? How could this traveller refer to me? This foolish traveller represents not only you, but the whole human race. At these words of Sakyamuni Buddha, the entire audience stood up in shock. This is the parable in which Sakyamuni Buddha illustrated the true image of us human beings. The traveller. The autumn evening. The white bones. The tiger. The pine tree. The vine. The white mouse and the black mouse. The bottomless sea. The 3 dragons. And the 5 drops of honey. Each of these symbols represents our image. Let us thoroughly learn the purpose of listening to Buddhism through this parable that Sakyamuni Buddha taught.